and welcome back to GFF and Friends, the podcast. The podcast for those who care.
Oh.
Hello, I'm your host, Gay Fat Friend, a.k.a. Todd, and joining me, as always, is my teeny tiny adorable little husband, Rob.
Hello.
Hello, friend.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. It's funny. Last week we recorded late and weird. This week we're recording super early.
Yeah, right?
Simply out of old age.
Right.
We're just old and we do things early now.
Yeah, I never thought that I'd become that person. Like, I was asleep until 2 p.m. guy until, like, literally, like, I feel like 5 years ago.
Right? And now you got up at, what, 7:30 this morning?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's just like, nope, it's time to get up. So I got up.
Yeah.
I mean, although it's funny not to totally hop on a quick tangent, but like literally I think I'm going to finish the book I'm reading today.
Yeah.
And so like I think a lot of my motivation to get up, aside from like just bodily needs at the time, have gone beyond that into just like, hey, you should sit down and finish reading that book because it's getting kind of crazy.
Well, and I love that excitement of having a thing to do, whether it be a book or a video game or a movie or a show. Like, just that excitement of like, ooh, I've got something to finish.
Right. Well, and also like it's funny
And
because
I'm really into it.
I'm actually feeling some really good heat on my video game hobby as well. Like, I've got a couple of games that I'm in the middle of and I'm enjoying all of them.
Yeah.
And so it's one of those where I'm like, okay, like I'm actually motivated and all of them are kind of long too. So like I'm in the middle of like 3 fairly lengthy games that I'm actually motivated to play, but also like the book I'm reading is really hit its stride. And the ending is within sight. On. Seriously, like there's some cool shit going on right now.
You know, one of my favorite pastimes is watching you play video games, and you're playing Indiana Jones right now, which is very exciting.
And it's funny, and it looks good.
It's really beautiful.
Yeah, it's got like very much that sort of cinematic quality, even though it's first person. Like, I don't know, and I feel like it's really scratching the itches for you when it comes to like sound cues.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of the like Indiana Jones sound effects from the movies, the way he punches people and stuff, and it's really good.
And even just like
the whip,
the music stings are really like very John Williams-esque. If not, actually, I don't even know if I'm assuming they got either John Williams or someone to do similar composing. So I haven't actually looked at the credits on this game yet, but I'm kind of curious, especially just all the pedigree.
What's the voiceover guy that does
Troy Baker.
Troy Baker does a really good Harrison Ford voice match.
Yeah, he's doing a very good Harrison Ford, and I really like the Harrison Ford model that they built really for the game. Like he's a very like idealized, youthful, but like it feels very good. Yeah,
it's the only problem with it is that there's a lot of it that's in first person, and I hate first person video games. For playing, so like I'm not that jazzed about playing it, but it has everything I love: puzzles, Indiana Jones, Harrison Ford's beautiful young face. There's so many things about that game I should want to play, but first person just ruins it. I hate it.
Well, it's like, and I understand the appeal of the first person on this, of like you are Indiana Jones, and also like based on the developer, first person is their thing. Like what
else have they made?
They did the Wolfenstein shooters, the recent Wolfenstein shooters that were incredible.
Yeah.
And
heavily detailed.
Yeah. And so like, honestly, I feel like they, this is what they do best. And they're doing it. So I'm having fun.
And I'm having fun watching it.
Non-sponsored thing there, but
non-spon-con.
Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, really cool.
Well, back to getting up early. Another reason, I mean, you didn't wake me up. Ruby woke me up by barking out the window because she just loves to bark at 7 a.m. now.
She's a Borky baby. Well, and I mean, it is funny, like actually being up. I don't even think there was a dog walking by at the time. I think she was just being a jerk.
Yeah, she's just weird. She's just like, I'm going to bark out the window for 5 minutes at nothing.
Like, it's morning. She thinks she's a rooster.
But also, we had Domino's last night, and with the joy of Domino's comes the agony of waking up the next day.
Yeah, there's the post Domino's day. Just being middle-aged is weird.
It's not fair.
Yeah,
it's dumb.
Salt just doesn't do me any favors, I guess.
Yeah.
When in that quantity, but oh man, Domino's just hits the spot when that's what you want.
It was so good. I always get the hot wings, and I always get the same, pan pizza, and it was delicious. It's what I needed.
And I always tend to get a hand-tossed pizza, a thin crust pizza, and a side of some sort of bread, which I did eat the entirety of last night. I ate
you
the
had a
entire
lot
thing of bread bites.
Salty, garlicky, buttery carbs.
no regrets for the most part.
Yeah.
If you see me collapse during this, you'll know why.
I did realize the Dominoes didn't affect me as hard as it normally does because I am now a proficient user of Lactaid pills, and so that really helped with a lot of the uncomfortableness. And also, I didn't drink alcohol. I was gonna have red wine.
I guess I'll dry you out even more.
Yeah, I was gonna have some wine with it last night because I love pizza and wine. But I was like, you know what? No, I'm just gonna have some Coke Zero instead, and it worked out for the better.
Well, good. Hey, baby steps, right? Just anything you can do to sort of improve the situation.
Future Todd thanks past Todd for not drinking.
But yeah, and additional non-spawn con. It's what spurred the whole situation is I had one of those emergency pizzas from Domino's that you see the commercials for, and it was expiring, and so I was like, let's do that.
I love that Domino's has an emergency pizza.
Well, and seriously, and it even had a little animation of the glass breaking to get the emergency pizza on the app. It was very cute.
Well, I'm you're the marketer, not me. I didn't go to marketing school, but I am a huge advocate and proponent of coupons being suggestions and getting people in. I think it really works.
It does. Well, and I mean, the gamification of shopping is also, or frequent, frequent shopper programs. The gamification of all of that is, oh man, it's bad for me. And it's fine. Know who I would like to probably credit with this sort of realization? Microsoft, circa 2006, with the achievement introduction.
With trophies and stuff.
Yeah, I became an achievement hunter very inadvertently. I had no idea that was even going to be a thing that motivated me, and it very much did for a while. I'm no longer an achievement hunter, but I think it has instilled a sort of it puts that gamification, sort of joy and competition in you.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, I checked into Foursquare for months.
Yeah, I used to be the mayor of
so
the
many
Chipotle
places.
by our
my
house.
Chipotle. Oh, yeah. When I was always fighting for the mayorship of that place, there was one guy that me and him were just neck and neck. It was amazing how many nemesis I had across Los Angeles when I started playing Foursquare.
Yeah.
Or started checking in via Foursquare. But yeah, the gamification of stuff is very interesting.
That was such a moment in time.
Yeah. But it's created a very sticky thing. And as a marketer, it's fascinating to look at that kind of stuff.
I mean, it got me last night. We are currently in the throes of Candle Day at Bath & Body Works, where all of the 3-wick candles are $9.99. And I know I said I wasn't going to buy any, but then I saw a TikTok that you can buy them online. And I got a couple of my faves that I don't currently have, and stuff for summer, but they're coming in the mail. I think I'm just going to leave them in the box and wrap it and put it under the tree and say it's a gift from Santa.
Right. Honestly, I had a recent impulse purchase that suddenly appeared, as available, and it was limited edition. So I bought it, and I really should have just wrapped it and waited. Just so at least there was something there, be like, hey,
I know this is the hard month because so many cool things come out. There's so much stuff on sale. We are dinks, so we can just buy the things we want. But also, we do like unwrapping gifts and giving each other gifts.
But the problem is so much stuff, especially the stuff that we tend to be interested in, is extremely time sensitive, limited edition. It would be one of those things where I will
sell out.
Yeah, it'd be a thing where I would literally have to go and hit him and be like, hey, I'm sending you a link. You literally have to sign in via my gamer tag to buy this directly from this company, and you have to do it right now. And if you're going to do it. And if not, let me know so I can buy it myself. What the hell kind of option is that? That's not how Christmas works, but it is one of those where it's if I didn't buy it when I did, I wasn't going to get it. So I did.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things. It's a bummer because it makes Christmas hard.
Yeah. I swore that I would never shop on Black Friday because I don't want to support that industry.
Yeah. At least we're not leaving the house.
Right. But I did buy one Black Friday thing that was specifically Black Friday, which was a box of C's chocolates because they did a mega sale and a bundle and free shipping. And also, I don't know why I never realized this, but you can totally order C's chocolates through the mail and have it sent to you, which, C's chocolate is very California, very Christmas, very happy memories for me. And I love C's so much. I'm currently opening the C's advent calendar on TikTok every day of the month of December. But, yeah, C's chocolate is very magical to me. And I don't know why I didn't realize they had an online store. You can just buy it if you want it.
I feel like we need to Men in Black, memory flash you, though, on that, just because, seriously, I feel like like having an open portal to See's candy in the home year round
no.
is not.
It's a Christmas thing for me.
Yeah, I was like, it feels dangerous.
I only want it around the holidays. Like, it's not really the same in March.
Well, it's funny because like the bars of solid milk chocolate from them take me back to like marching band fundraising days.
Oh, that's right, because that was your fundraiser.
Yeah, and so because like so my high school, I think did like like country's best chocolate or whatever, that like chalky.
Yeah, I think that's what we did too.
Sort of like trapezoidal.
Or we
shaped.
got the like Hershey box of the various Hershey's bars.
Well, it's like I feel like a lot of like the smaller organizations would just go to like Smart and Final or Costco and get like cases of candy bars and give you like a plastic bag full of various candy and be like, sell them for 50 cents a piece. Just bring back $20 or $10 or whatever. And but yeah, it's like our marching band always did like the good See's candy.
Well, and it's funny
stuff.
because like solid milk chocolate from See's, except if it's in the form of a Santa or a bunny, I don't really eat just plain milk chocolate from See's. It's always usually like the mixed chocolates.
Well, and as a
chocolatey delights.
As a non-milk chocolate,
eater
enthusiast, I will, but it's like as a non-enthusiast of it, I do really like See's milk chocolate.
Yeah, it's good.
As a bar, just like, or coins or whatever, like just
they
like
do a lot
solid
of baubles, bells, coins.
Yeah, because I mean, of course, I guess coins. I always think of whenever I think coins, chocolate coins, it's actually Ethel M chocolates that I'm thinking of because they are Las Vegas based and they always did coins, chocolate
For
coins.
a second, I thought you were talking about some kind of trans candy, and I was like, I want to support trans candy.
No, yeah, Ethel M. You'll actually find them in the lots of them in the Las Vegas airport. But yeah, it's like growing up as a kid, you could always go in and get a free sample, and they give you like a free unwrapped chocolate coin, and they were thick. They weren't like the little, like when you buy them and they're wrapped in gold and they're teeny tiny thin. These were unwrapped, chunky ass coins.
Las Vegas, not really a chocolate cultural center.
No.
When you think about it, it's got to be so much work to keep chocolate in the desert.
Well, and seriously, it is funny growing up, like being born there and just kind of being around Ethel M all the time. I assumed it was just kind of
oh, you're saying the name Ethel and then the
M.
letter M.
Yes, sorry, I speak
the
quickly.
whole time was FLM.
No.
And so I was like,
FML.
oh.
No, Ethel M.
Oh, I think I've heard of her.
What's the same as like Ethan
She
Allen?
owes me money.
I used to have a hard time whenever someone said Ethan Allen because I thought it was Eth and Allen.
I thought Paul Lazan. I thought her first name was Paul, P-A-U, and her last name was Lazan. My whole life.
And meanwhile, we just saw that thing where somebody said, what was the thing online where they used the phrase that was like pom pom or don instead of dawned on.
Yeah. Same with Florida ceiling curtains. I thought it was a ceiling in the state of Florida. Florida ceiling curtains.
Hey, I thought it was the Empire State
Oh, me too.
as a child.
I also thought it was the Pullet surprise.
Pullet surprise.
Do you not hear what you're saying?
Pullet surprise. Oh, Pulitzer Prize. I was like, Pullet surprise.
And a pullet is a chicken. So
I see, and I never heard of a pullet.
yeah, a pullet is a chicken.
Learn something
So
today.
as a child, I thought it was some kind of, almost like a Michelin star, like it rolled over from something else. But yeah, like if you were really good, you would get a Pulitzer Prize.
That sounds like a sex act.
And I always wonder why, like, there wasn't a chicken on the.
I mean, the
award.
Pulitzer Prize is just kind of a pull my finger, just with a fancy name.
But I wanted to go back to
Sorry,
elementary.
that was some fun rando
Yeah,
good stuff. I liked it.
Things we hear.
Yeah.
I wanted to go back to junior high fundraising. We also did magazines. I think I've told this story before, but who cares? I'm gonna tell it again. We did magazines, and at my school, I think all you had to do was sell 10 magazine subscriptions, which wasn't really hard. I think my mom did like 4 of them. And if you did at least 10, you got into like the VIP level or something. And the prize for that was that we had a concert come to our junior high gym in 1992, I think this would have been. And the band that came to our gym in 1992 in the smallest town on the planet, Missouri, was the Backstreet Boys. And this was obviously, they were not famous yet. They were doing a high school gymnasium magazine sales concert tour.
That's still pretty cool, though.
But yeah, we got to see the Backstreet Boys in our junior high gym in Missouri in 1992. And it's in my parents' house somewhere. It is in their basement or in the attic somewhere. We had, you remember textbook, like covers. It was almost like
yeah.
a perfectly rectangular sheet of wrapping paper, and then it came with instructions on how to wrap your textbook.
Yeah.
They did promotional Backstreet Boys textbook wraps, and then they all signed it for us. So
that's cool.
I have somewhere all of their autographs on a textbook cover.
That's
from
cool.
my magazine sales, I think getting 10 subscriptions. And the funniest thing was the VIP section was just, they put a row of chairs in front of the stage, but it was in a gym and all the bleachers were on the other side of the gym. So it was everyone in the bleachers. And then the VIP section was just one row by itself at the very front of the stage.
Weird.
It was very
That sounds
weird.
almost like a punishment.
Right? As an adult, like when you're a kid, sitting in the front row is like the coolest thing ever. I always wanted to do it at the movies, and my parents were like, no, we're not sitting in the front row. And then as an adult, you realize sitting in the front row is torture. It's terrible for your neck. You don't see anything. It really takes you out of it.
Yeah. No, that is, it's funny. That is, like, you had mentioned that before, but I still think that is so cool. Like, that is very cool. And then I think usually, like, the springboard I always say is like the rando fact about, similar to me, like, although none of my fundraisers ever had a good prize like that. The rando weird thing that happened to me was that Stevie Wonder showed up at my high school graduation.
Oh yeah, because you graduated with his son.
Yes, which I did not know that. And only a very few people did. Like right at the beginning of my high school graduation, a helicopter landed on one of the baseball diamonds of my high school.
What a secret to keep. Also, what a weird thing to like stash a child in Palmdale, California.
Right. And then all of a sudden we saw not golf cart, but like one of our custodial carts drive to the stage. And all of us were like, that looks like Stevie Wonder. That can't be Stevie Wonder though. What? And all of a sudden he took the stage and did like a little bit of rando sort of talk, just because I think everyone was like, well, he's here. And he came up and spoke a little bit, sang some a cappella bars of Stay Gold, because that was one of our colors. And then stopped I want to say hogging the spotlight. It was actually really cool to have him there. But yeah, then he made it not about him. We graduated and end of the thing. But yeah, rando thing. That's how we all learned that one of Stevie Wonder's kids, apparently in my graduating class.
Now, why was that? Did you ever get the backstory, like why he stashed a kid in Palmdale and didn't raise him in a mansion in Beverly Hills?
I think Stevie Wonder has many
illegitimate children.
But I think he might have several,
children from different people.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, but I'm not entirely sure. But it's because I don't know how involved he was or how close they were or anything. I literally I discovered that thing. I've kind of already forgotten his son's name.
Yeah.
And I mean that was also 1,000 years ago, because we old.
Yeah.
But no, like super crazy, like just what?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not like he had to stash him out of sight, out of mind, because it would all be out of mind at that point.
Not a visual medium for those listening, but I just rolled my eyes for everybody. Just you're welcome.
Well, I feel like raising a child 2 hours away from where you live, it just adds to the theory that Stevie Wonder can see a little bit, just a tiny little bit.
I do love that conspiracy theory.
I fully believe in it, because Oprah got him a Maserati, and it's like, what's he going to do with that? Every car is the same car to him. Should be.
We can get there faster,
I guess. But yeah, I totally buy into the urban legend that Stevie Wonder can see a little bit. All right. Well, is there anything else we need to catch up on?
I just realized rando housekeeping. Like Todd was making me sound like King Reader last week, and I did actually finish another book, and I totally forgotten about it, because I did read William S. Burroughs' Queer.
Which is now a major motion picture starring Daniel Craig.
Yes.
And our friend Drew Droege.
And because, I read Junkie, the predecessor to Queer, when I was in high school. And so now I just have to read the third one in the series. I think there was a third one. But yeah, it's funny because I was like, I'd totally fallen off the Burroughs thing a long time ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, so read that.
I am very close to reading. I have been working so much. Like I'm a big fan of to-do lists. I love a to-do list. And every day this month, because I have so much work to do with like TikTok and Instagram and everything, I've been making to-do lists because like I got to decorate the house, I got to film content, or I got to film multiple contents a day. Like today on Sunday, we're doing a podcast. I got to film an unboxing for TikTok. I got to film, all this stuff. So I'm a big fan of physical to-do lists right now. And every day has just been so jam-packed of to-dos. But we're very close. Now that the house is decorated, the tree is up, everything, I just got to put the decoration boxes back into storage. But after that, my to-do lists daily should just be filming content, and that's it. So very close to having free time to read, because now when I have free time, I either fall asleep or we watch one movie or TV show.
Or get caught up on any number of the franchises of Drag Race that we are trying to keep up with. Like, we literally don't even watch the stuff that is non-English speaking. And there's so many seasons at a time.
Yeah,
now.
and like one, as soon as one finishes, two pop up in its place, and and then an All Stars and a Versus the World, and there's just so many. So yeah, our free time is usually filled with episodes of Drag Race.
Yeah,
but we are approaching super comfy, cozy weather. I mean, we're already in it. Super comfy, cozy weather.
Oh, yeah, 'cause it's cold
good
here.
Yeah, and it's good reading weather.
Oh, and seriously, and like totally rando, but at my company, White Elephant from last week, I actually walked away with, I walked away the happiest I ever have from a White Elephant gift exchange. I always walk away with like, well, this is getting regifted kind of vibes. And no, this was something that I literally stole, and it locked with me, and I was thrilled because I got one of the 2021 editions of the KFC fried chicken scented fire logs.
It's very exciting.
I'm so excited.
I love the box. Like, I feel like we'll keep the box forever.
Well, but it's crazy. If you smell the box, like, yes, it smells like a fire log, but it has real fried chicken notes.
What is it?
Pretty cool.
7 herbs and spices? Is that the secret recipe? 7 or 17?
I don't even know.
It's 7 herbs and spices.
Okay.
I don't know. People in their cars are screaming right now.
Right. Well,
it's totally the entire KFC like slogan universe.
Right.
It's on their signs.
Completely just like
what they're known for. And I'm like,
our
7?
brains.
It's 7 herbs and spices.
Meanwhile, I'm like, oh yeah, like, I can tell you that rando thing that not the numbers though, that KFC's Twitter account for a long time followed the Spice Girls and several men named Herb. So they only had so many herbs and spices as their followers or people they were following.
It's like when I said it was a 4th sense that one time. It's like, I don't know. It's a gift from God. It's like a 4th sense.
It's like I have ESPN or something.
Right. What was I going to say? I was going to say something else. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was gonna, also like media consumption wise, we have been doing a very fun retro future.
Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say. Watching some old movies from the 80s. It's been a treat.
Well, and also it's funny. The movies that we've been watching has also been kind of oddly relevant given current political
they're all
concerns,
dystopian future from the past,
right? And also like and the book I'm reading, and so like it's kind of fascinating because we watched Demolition Man, which we both had not seen
with
in probably
Sylvester Stallone and Sandra Bullock,
like almost 30 years.
One of my favorites as a child. Loved them, obsessed because it was futuristic, and I was like, look what the future is going to be. And now you watch it as an adult, way past. Well, I guess not way past. Demolition Man is still 7 years from now.
Yeah, it's in the future still.
We haven't hit the actual Demolition Man timeline, but we're very close.
Well, and some of the buildings that they shot at, like where E Studios was on Wilshire, I think those buildings are already gone. So it's like, the future that they're depicting is already gone in some ways. And man, there's so many shots in that movie at the LA Convention Center.
No, where we shot Fashion Police is still there.
It's still there? Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, the one of the like government buildings was just the buildings where they shot Fashion Police,
right?
And then the LA Convention Center.
She lives at the Pacific Design Center.
Oh yeah, she lives at the PDC.
Yeah, like it was kind of fascinating. Like it was that was a fun watch. And then last night we watched The Running Man, which I had not seen for probably 30 years.
Same.
And I think last time I saw it edited for television.
Yeah. And another one, obsessed with when I was a child, loved it. My brothers and I watched it all the time.
Yeah.
And then I haven't watched it since childhood, and it holds up.
Yeah. No,
it's not really problematic.
There's a few hokey bits here and there, just I think reflective of the time. But like it's a pretty good sci-fi.
It could be remade and updated today into, I don't want to say a better film, but like now that they have the technology to do special effects and stuff like that, they could make it a better movie.
They could do some very cool set extension or digital weaponry kind of thing. Like it could be a little bit more Hunger Gamesy.
Yeah,
I guess
it's pretty much just Hunger Games for adults.
Yeah.
But yeah, it held up. Also, on the Stephen King train, we noticed like we consume so much Stephen King content that we don't even realize it's Stephen King because Running Man was written under Richard Bachman, which is one of his pen names.
Yeah.
And it's even credited like written by Richard Bachman. And so you don't even realize you're watching Stephen King content.
Yeah.
But yeah, because we watched Pet Sematary last week.
Well, and The Mist also after I read Skeleton Crew. So yeah, we've just been to also just sort of, I guess, fully pay off on the book that I've been close to finishing that I haven't finished yet, but very close. And Demolition Man, Running Man, pertinent to today. I'm reading 1984. The book is extremely upsetting. It's funny, like it is, but honestly, this has been like one of the most informative eating my vegetables, and I'm mad I didn't read it before kind of things. And as much as people want to harp on like you need to know history in order to not repeat it, this is why arts education is important, I feel like, or literary, literacy is
literary
important.
literacy.
But I mean, there's a difference between like being able to read and also like being aware of contents of books. Like even the ones I haven't read, at least I know the thrust of many of them.
Yeah.
And 1984 has been strangely like pertinent and really, really scary.
Yeah, they all hit a little too close to home.
Yeah. And frankly, like Orwell has been freakishly prophetic in some ways, and it's very scary. And so, but yeah, like anywho, but Demolition Man, Running Man, like all these dystopian futures happening at once.
Thing is I'm really like I've always been obsessed with Wizard of Oz. It's my favorite movie of all time, and just like Oz in general, and especially now that we watched Wicked and I just watched Return to Oz, I really want to read the entire original
the Frank Baum Oz
like the
books.
I think there's like 8 of them, but I looked and you can get them as a box set, so I added it to my Amazon wish list because Rob's mom and his aunt are obsessed with Christmas lists. Like you have to give them a list, and they like will bug you about it. So we're kind of forced to make Christmas lists for them. So I added it to my Christmas list because I want the complete collection of Frank L. Baum Oz books. A, they're beautiful, but B, they look like they're really fast reads, and I've always wanted to like read the original story and see what it's about because I'm obsessed with The Wizard of Oz.
It's funny. Like I feel like some things like that, as easy of a read they may be, they might be a hard read for me just because I have preconceived memories and notions of these characters that are in my bones of things that they do. And when they don't do those in the book, I'm going to have to literally sort of partition my brain to be like, it's not the movie, not the movie, not the movie, not the movie. Like this is its own thing. But especially like when it's a movie that you've seen a billion times and it's literally just part of you.
Well, I read Wicked 20 years ago when it came out as a book, or 25 years ago, whatever, and hated it and threw it across the room because that is it's a terrible book. It's really fucked up. It's like he tries to be like Stephen King and be really gory and out there and edgy, but it doesn't really work. And I cannot believe the musical that came out of that LP? No. IP. Because Wicked the book, and it ends terribly, and like I remember finishing that book and throwing it across the room. I was so pissed that I read this like giant, very wordy book. I was so mad. But I feel like the original Wizard of Oz books are going to be much better.
Well, they'll be different for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's funny after seeing Wicked, like I'm very curious and excited about Volume 2, but like Volume 1, I don't know. Like I still didn't walk out of it loving it like everybody else did. I'm excited to see the second part though.
You should have waited until both movies are available because that's why you don't like it so much.
Yeah, it felt incomplete.
It's because it's literally just a to be continued and wait for a year.
And even like everyone's like, some people was saying it like, oh, it breaks during the act break in the show. The show does not have an 11-month intermission. Like it's not that long. We would have heard the ding ding dings and would have rushed back in by now.
They would have flashed the lights.
Yeah.
Speaking of flashing the lights, let's move on to our final segment, which is What's Your Order? What's Your Order? I feel like I haven't explained this segment properly in a while.
And it's your turn to open it, so I'm going to flip it around and have it ready for you.
So this is where I have a box here. It is currently the handbook for the recently deceased popcorn tin from the Beetlejuice film. But when I first started this podcast 1,000 years ago, I filled it with America's favorite fast food restaurants or just restaurants in general. But we went through those pretty quickly. So now it's just food groups, holidays, ideas, people, ingredients, whatever I could think of food that has multiple iterations. That's what's in this box now. And so I'm going to pull out a thing and we're going to say what our order is. And so without further ado, today's what your order is. All right. There's only like 4 left. I'm running out of words, y'all. Okay. Today's what your order is. TGI Fridays. Bam, 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 bam. Do they even exist anymore?
I think there's the one that Magic Johnson owns.
Oh yeah, the Magic Johnson Fridays, which is he also has a theater, right? In
yes, that's where I saw 300.
Not Linwood. What? Crestwood? No, Crenshaw, right?
No, the Magic Johnson theaters. I think they're off the 405.
No, it's the theater and the TGI Fridays on the way to the airport. It's not off the 405. It's close, but you can't see the 405 from there.
Yeah,
it's Crenshaw.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it? All right,
yeah.
Well,
and the Fridays is in the parking lot of the theater.
Well, and seriously, like, yeah, I do actually have my phone on me, which I'm considering looking at their menu, but I'm going to just wing it.
Well, the reason I put it in the box is because for a minute we were buying a ton of TGI Fridays freezer meals.
Well, and I know
the potato skins and
the first thing I think of when I think of TGI Fridays is potato skins. Like I feel like that's it. You know, if Chili's has the Awesome Blossom, TGI Fridays has potato skins,
and they're so good. And you know what? The freezer ones hold up.
They're good. Yeah. I wish that. Know what I wish they came with? Like toothpicks in them, or some sort of thing that could go in the oven with them to keep them upright, so they didn't like fall and ooze out.
Oh, all the cheese
like,
melt out.
I wish they had like the thing that you would use to like support a boat while you're building it. You know, I wish they came with something like that.
Is that what a davit is?
I don't know, but I feel like that's a cool word, and I wish I knew what it meant. And I'm gonna have to look that up now because it feels like a very specific word that I need to know. But I wish it came with one of those because I think that'd be like a dry dock.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be neat. But the frozen potato skins. Good
so
stuff.
Good. And then the other one is the spinach and artichoke dip. It is so delicious.
You love a spinach and artichoke dip.
I love a spinach dip. I get that from my parents. Every single restaurant my parents go to, if there's a spinach dip on the menu, they get it. My parents love a dip.
Well, yeah, you love a dip. I didn't have to qualify it, really.
Yeah.
Like,
and I love a dip, too.
Yeah.
I love a dip. And a spread. Oh, my God. If you can eat it on crackers or tortilla chips, I'm in. I literally had like spoonfuls of hummus for dinner the other day, or for lunch. But yeah,
girl dinner.
I love a dip. And the spinach dip in the freezer section, the TGI Fridays is good. And I mean, better in the restaurant. If you have access to a Fridays, please go get. Okay, so here's my order. I love all the apps. The potato skins, number 1, have to get the spinach dip and the wings. They had really good wings. That was like the first. I don't want to say fast food, but like mass-produced hot wing I think I ever had. Because growing up in Missouri, we didn't really have access to a lot of things back in the 90s. And so one of the first places to get hot wings in a restaurant was Fridays. And I just remember being like, oh. And I had hot wings last night. I love eating wings. I love wings.
Yeah, and I need a boneless. I feel like wings are too much work.
That's just a nugget.
I know. Like, I feel like wings are too much bone and other inedible or less fun to eat pieces. I
like it because there's like
body.
So much skin. I love bird skin.
I love skin.
Turkey skin, chicken skin. But like, I love it.
The gristle and blah.
I love it.
That's the kneecaps, not my thing. But
blue cheese. I love dunking it in blue cheese. Although the Domino's ones I do with ranch, but ranch. So those are my apps. Love the apps. And then I don't know if you remember, but they had an entire line of like Jack Daniel's glazed meats.
I do. I remember those commercials with the brush.
Yeah, which was literally just like whiskey flavored sugar sauce. Like it was clear. It wasn't like a barbecue sauce. It was like kind of clear, and it was just like Jack Daniel's flavored smoky sugar sauce.
And as a marketer, Jack Daniel's glaze is much better than whiskey sugar sauce.
Yeah.
So, you know.
But the Jack Daniel's chicken. Oh my God, it was so good. I don't know why they never sold that sauce in stores. I mean, they have the whole freezer section. Make the sauce, you sons of bitches. Make the sauce.
Ton of the sauce.
But yeah, the Jack Daniel's sauce, so good. And then that was one of the first places. I mean, I was a child, so I could never get it. But they had that frozen mudslide drink, which was just like a milkshake with Kahlua in it or something. But I remember it came in like a fish bowl, and it had all the chocolate drizzles and the whipped cream, and they would like walk it through the restaurant like you would walk fajitas.
The fajita effect.
Yeah, they would always walk the mudslides through the restaurant. And I think my mom or my grandma, somebody would get a mudslide. And I just remember being like, oh my God, I want it so bad. It was just so beautiful. But I don't think they had a destination dessert like the Pizookie. I don't think they had anything like that. So I don't really know dessert from there.
I feel like they were destination apps. Like, because I feel like TGI Fridays was very much, they had that. It's like, well, you could sit down and eat, but also it was the happy hour place.
Yeah.
Because, TGI Fridays, like the whole, even just the name makes it sound like you're going there for apps.
Yeah.
Like, and a beer, and then you're leaving. But yeah, I don't really know exactly what I would order there typically, but I know my habits, and for some reason I'm likening it to Applebee's in my head right now when it comes
Almost
to
the exact same
stuff that I'd be ordering.
Almost the exact same.
Yeah, so I'm pretty confident when I would go in there, potato skins. But beyond that, for entree, I would be looking at either a pasta, which I'm assuming would be a chicken Alfredo, and the Alfredo would likely be basically cream with a weird lemon flavor to it, as if that's an Alfredo,
and probably had broccoli on it.
Oh
too.
yeah, because very much the Applebee's style chicken Alfredo is what I'm imagining.
Yeah,
which I know is not authentic. It's not especially good, but it hits the spot, and I do order it for a very specific reason at places like that, because I know what I'm getting, and I know it's gonna be something that I don't get anywhere else.
Yeah,
and I have developed a taste for it. The other option would likely be a burger that comes with pico de gallo and guacamole on it.
Oh yeah, like a California burger.
Yeah, like a Southwest
a
or
burger.
something. I would probably end up with either a very like Southwest influenced burger or a really strange chicken Alfredo dish.
Yeah,
with broccoli. Those would be my two options.
My grandpa always got the baby back ribs, and it's so funny because like it was the same. Who knows? It could have all been owned by Chili's, but like I remember it was like the Chili's campaign to get baby back ribs, but my grandpa would always get baby back ribs at Fridays, and I was just
Rebel.
like, it was huge. It always came out on a platter. That's the other I think that's probably where I get my like. I always want to say destination wedding. That's not the phrase. I want to do event food. I don't
like
even
man versus food style.
Event food of like fondue or teppanyaki or something.
Oh, so yeah, you like ceremonial food.
Yeah,
or food with a process kind of that you have to.
I have to figure out a phrase of what I need to call it because I can never remember what it is.
Ritual food.
Ritual,
I mean, all the ritual makes it sound like it's part of like a religious thing.
The baby back ribs came out on a platter. You got your own set of cutlery. It came with the plastic bibs. I loved a plastic bib. Rarely got to use them.
You love some ceremony. You do.
I do. I love ceremony. I love pomp and circumstance when it comes to food.
Which fine, and like I think we talked about this. Is why I was actually so afraid of Lowry's, because I didn't realize like the rigid kind of set of norms that you step into when you go in there.
Well, you think it's racist?
No, well, I think it's very dated.
Yeah.
But also like while I was there, I was just very surprised at like the very specific sort of things that will happen there, and you do not stop them. Like, like the salad will spin. Like, just and like that's nothing I needed to stop, but it's one of those things of like, don't get in their way.
Well, it's like when you went to P.F. Chang's back in the day. As soon as you sat down, the server would make a sauce on your table. Remember?
Yeah.
They don't do
whether
that
you used it or not.
Yeah,
like they would mix it.
Like while they were like doing the menu tour and telling you about specials and all that jazz, they would make a little sauce on your table.
And they'd ask how spicy you wanted it.
Yeah.
And tell you how to make it less or more.
Yeah. And they still do that at like Melting Pot. There are various restaurants when you sit down, they make your little table sauce. But P.F. Chang's used to do that.
Yeah. They also used to have branded plates.
I miss those restaurants so much. I know that they do still exist and we have access to them, sort of, if we want to trek across the entire city. But yeah, P.F. Chang's, TGI Fridays, Applebee's. I know that we can access them in Seattle. It's just quite a bit of a trek.
Yeah, although I did recently see some news, different tier of restaurant, of course, but El Pollo Loco, it looks like, is coming to the Pacific Northwest.
It made the news. It was there's like a Seattle Como news channel or whatever that always pops up on my TikTok. Como, and they did an article about how El Pollo Loco is coming up here.
I mean, it's coming to Kent, which
the first one is in Kent.
Yeah, which is basically as far away as our closest Carl's Jr. is, which is annoying.
Well, I need to look up if they opened the Cane's chicken strips because that's like my favorite, and they were opening one in like downtown. I need to see if that opened.
I figured they're opening one in like White Center or something, like way the hell far away.
Well, that is downtown.
Oh, is it? I thought White Center was like the airport.
No, White Center is like just south of downtown.
Oh,
like right past the stadiums.
We've been here so long, and I still don't know anything.
Can you believe we've been here for almost 5 years?
No, that's almost
No,
4.
4 years. Almost 4 years.
I was like, it's almost 4.
Yeah.
Time's not flying that much, but yeah, it's getting
That's
there.
almost a whole high school career that we've been here, and we don't know things.
Right.
Anything. We don't know any. I don't even know like the street at the bottom of the hill. I need to learn it.
I keep making up names for the street that's right here next to us. I still, I'm like, there's a number and then there's that thing. And so, yeah, I'm like, always like, I just make up names.
Yeah. We should get on that.
We should.
And
I feel like a toddler that doesn't know my own phone number at this point. Of like, if you drop me in the middle of Seattle, can I get home?
Oh, I was so proud of myself the other day. Remember, I was like, I didn't look at the map once when we came home from somewhere.
Yeah, and I was like, I did not know where we were going. Like,
Where were we?
Where were we coming from?
Because we had to like drive through the city, and I knew all of it, even though it was on GPS. I never looked at the GPS. It wasn't my colonoscopy.
Was we went to go see Wicked?
Oh yeah. When we came home from the movie,
Yeah.
I was like, I just drove through downtown Seattle and made it back to our house, and I didn't look at the map once. But
I would have.
that was literally just like Seattle is a very easy city to navigate via sight. Like, especially if you can see the Space Needle, you know exactly where you are at any given time.
Or if you can
because
see
it's
the water.
Yeah, it's a giant body of water. All the hills slope down to the water. So as long as you can see a hill or water, you know exactly where you are and what direction you're facing.
Well, and you took a very efficient way home. Like, I would have gotten us home, but it would have been probably, we would have taken a few wrong turns, a few weird one ways.
Well, that's every journey with Rob. Your head's in the cloud when you drive.
Well, also, though, I mean, I'm all about discovering new ways to get old places. Like, that's the best way to describe getting lost. And if you have time, getting lost is the best way
to learn a city.
To bridge in those little gaps of the city between all the chunks that you do know. Like, getting lost in Los Angeles was a favor when I had the time. When not, oh, God, it's a nightmare. But yeah, like, that's how I learned that city.
Same.
Aside from my Thomas guide, getting lost is how I really learned it.
Well, I think it's a good time to wrap up because I'm starving. All this food talk, we haven't had lunch yet. Usually we record after lunch. We haven't had lunch, and I'm starving. And we have so many leftovers.
Oh,
from Domino's, from dinner the other night,
we're talking
from
about how
lunch the other day.
Like, how I don't learn. I will be having leftover Domino's.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe 1 or 2 meals today.
We'll suffer through it, but if we have it for lunch, then it won't affect us in the morning tomorrow. It'll be processed tonight.
I'm sure I'll find some other garbage
and
to
that's
ruin me.
Science. But that's our episode. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening, liking and sharing and following and all that good stuff. Next week, next episode will be really exciting because we can finally talk about something that happened to us. I'm hoping that we can talk about it then, but yeah, thank you guys so much for following along, and keep commenting and liking and sharing and all that good stuff. And we'll see you on the next one. All right, we love you. Goodbye.